Nice job. This is his 72nd shootout, James Courtney. Big slide. That will have cost him time. That was a lazy slide right at the end of the corner.
He crept into the top 10 last night. Grabs sixth gear ever so briefly in the run into turn one. Waiting with the throttle until that nose connects with the apex down there. Tippy-toeing away from the edge of the painted glossy yellow line and that slippery concrete on the outside and the curbing. It's forever waiting in the middle of the corner at turn two as well. Double apex left-hander in second gear. He uses the concrete apron to try and keep it hooked up through the right-hander at turn three, and the first timing intermediate here is better at the moment than James, just by a small fraction. Quite a lot of standing water just on the apex. The second part of turn 11 is just, 5 or 6 mils sitting there, and it's been persistent all weekend. So let's see what Mark Winterbottom delivers at the control line, and that's a 1 minute 40.5. So
nice lap. If you make a little mistake and you're already started on the outside, all you go to is the green from that perspective, and he runs right round the outside of that corner too, so he's taken a completely different line.
He was pretty filthy with himself in the shootout yesterday in the braking area in the hairpin at turn 8. They're watching at Team 18. They're focused carefully on the data also at the Shell V-Power Racing team. Let's see whether or not Will can hang in there at the end, and he does, just by 0.15 of a second.
Good job.
Oh, dropped the bottom link on
inside of it.
Yeah, he actually whacked the concrete. My ears weren't deceiving. So out of the final corner, he lost a bit of time in the mid-sector. No surprise when you see the amount of sliding going on.
Great job.
But he's wrestled it to the line nicely, and he didn't end up turning it around, and he's completed the lap on a 41.3. And it's about 0.3 of a second away from the best time. So Mark Winterbottom's fastest in both sectors. And look at the amount of water. He's gone so wide up there between 10 and 11. There was a rally car splashing through the puddles up there. Searching for grip. Not a lot of it out there at the moment. Matt Stone racing in the middle, Stucky in the background. Let's see what the lap looks like here for Todd.
See you with the scales.
41.8.
Good job.
That last sector, so he was 1 full second slower than Will Davison in that last sector. Lost a lot of time. And this was, oh yeah, that was bad coming onto the straight.
Who's only a tiny bit slower than Mark Winterbottom in sector one. So at the moment, Cam Waters is right on target to rattle the number that Will Davison achieved, who's currently provisional pole. Gets to the control line, and he eclipses Will Davison with a 39.8. He's the first runner.
Nice work, mate. Really good lap.
It was a very good lap to get into the 39s.
So
39.84.
Really good lap.
And a half-second margin. That middle sector was really impressive, wasn't it? So he achieved a 43.6 in the mid-sector.
Middle sector is about 6/10 away from what Waters did, but he's not too far away. So the first sector very good, a little bit down on Waters. He gets it turned. Those rivers are really pronounced. Here the wheel spin, minimises it, grabs a gear, grabs the next gear. And what's this do for young Brock Feeney?
Position number 2.
Nice job.
Nice job. And in fact, the fastest that we've seen in the final sector.
Currently P2 there, P2. Good job.
He's almost got no steering on when he drives it off the corner.
He said on Friday that the wet setup of the car was really strong. It was when the conditions were on the fringe where he felt that they had more work to do, and he skated out wide. He had his foot on the brake pedal, sat it all the way around the high line at turn 8, but he may well have got away with it. So he's done a 43.8 in the mid-sector. It's only a 1/10.5 slower than the best that we've seen in that sector, which was achieved by Cam Waters. So fast man in sector 1, there or thereabouts in sector 2, tells us that he is going to threaten the time of Cam Waters. It'll be very close.
He's right on
watching. George Commons, the engineer, is watching. Now it's about just making perfect shifts and getting it to the control line cleanly. And he does the job. He's done a 39.5. That last sector was very strong.
Good job, buddy. 21 at the moment.
Third of a second.
That's going to take some beating.
It is. That's a very good lap in those conditions. A rooster tail of water sitting up behind this car now. So if he can manage to stitch something together in these conditions, that is dead set. A magician at work, and he's run wide.
He saved it. Oh. Great save.
Beautiful job.
And that often happens at this place. What's it do for him in terms of his ultimate number? he's only missed out by 1/10 of a second, and those conditions were far worse.
Thank you.
Glides it into the second part of the final corner. And look at the thing, he's just holding opposite lock on it coming out of the final turn 11. And brings it down to the line. So this is going to be a 1 minute, what is it, 1 minute 40.8, but a mega moment, a huge moment there for Brodie Kostecki. Career first for him as an Armour All pole sitter, and his lap in those conditions was super impressive. His run in particular into turn 1 was super impressive. There was not 1 millimetre to spare. And there's so much debris flying and water and mist and junk everywhere. You can make a huge advantage off the start in the first several laps of the race. So we'll check out the results for you. Kostecki will be on the front row with Di Pasquale. Row 2, Cam Waters. That'll be refreshing for him. And Brock Feeney, what about that job? Davison, Winterbottom, Mostert, Courtney, Fullwood and Todd Hazelwood is our top 10.